The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, the FNM on R. Bailey Park in a mass rally. Meanwhile, the PLP in South Andros tonight as both parties push towards May 12th. The Parliamentary Registration Department has printed the voters' register today. It isn't without errors, though. We hear from the PRD on how they plan to fix it before May 12th. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Davis taking aim at FNM Garden Hills candidate Rick Fox, of course, about his inexperience in housing and more. It's all straight ahead tonight. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. The Opposition Free National Movement rallying its base tonight, launching its first mass rally of the political season. FNM supporters are expected to gather, in fact they are at this very hour, at R. Bailey Park to hear from candidates, including party leader who continues to sound the alarm over what he insists is an immigration crisis. Jose Etienne is live at R. Bailey Park. Jose, good evening to you. Please give us an idea of exactly how the rally is unfolding so far.
Well, Shanique, I'm here at the R. Bailey Park for the Free National Movement's mass rally. Again, this is the first mass rally since the political season really arrived at fever pitch. And so, Shanique, I'm going to ask the cameraman to pan the camera, or better yet, I'm just going to get out the way just so you're able to see for yourself what it's looking like out here at the R. Bailey Park. Again, you're seeing a sea of red, a red sea. You're seeing hundreds of supporters out here in their shirts, in their party paraphernalia, their pom-poms, etc. Of course, they're getting ready to really engage in their mass rally. We're made to understand that about 16 individuals will mount the stage, of course, including the opposition leader, Michael Pindar. Now, again, they're getting ready to do the national anthem in a moment. And so, of course, out of respect to that, we're going to just do it for a moment. But Shanique, we'll be back, I'm sure, even as we continue our coverage of the Free National Movement's mass rally. They're calling it SOS, Code Red, Save Our Sovereignty. And we do expect for key issues to be raised. They're going to be talking about immigration, of course. The FNM is adamant that it is a crisis. Of course, they're going to also be talking about passport fraud. We see that's been dominating headlines in recent days. A number of issues that they're going to be talking about, even as they make their case as to why the country, in their view, needs a reset. So, Shanique, we're going to wrap up now, but again, we're going to be here live on the grounds for the FNM's mass rally.
Thank you, Jose Etienne, live on R. Bailey Park this evening. Some 16 speakers are supposed to address that rally this evening. Of course, we'll keep tabs on that. But still on the political beat, our news team is also in Andros this evening, where the Progressive Liberal Party itself is having a rally there in South Andros. We head now to Rebecca Bain, who is also for us. Hello, Rebecca. Well, let me know when Rebecca is ready, and we will go to Rebecca. Meanwhile, let's just jump right in right now. I'd like to welcome in the Hot Topics panel. It's good to have you all here. Good evening to you, Michael Turnquest, Ellington Ferguson, and of course, Cassius Stewart should be live with us via Zoom. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. It's great to have you both here.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas.
Good evening, Bahamas. Good evening, Shanique. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here once again.
Good to see you.
Good evening, colleagues.
Absolutely. It's great to see you both. Let's just jump right in. The Free National Movement with a huge slate this evening, 16 speakers. Normally, they try to whittle it down a little more than that, a little less than that rather. But it's a mass rally. It's obviously a number of intentions are set for tonight. One, proving a point. One, getting the message out and exciting the base. What do you all think and what you expect from R. Bailey this evening?
You know, Shanique, earlier today in passing R. Bailey Park, you would have seen, of course, to set up a mass. They were basically getting prepared for a mass rally and passing there before coming to the studio. The people was coming in droves. I mean, walking, cars. Of course, the motorcades had not arrived as yet. And I think the F&M seems to be now taking the right road and addressing what the Bahamian people really want to hear about, is that talking about immigration, saving the sovereignty of Bahamians. And I think this is the road to win an election if done right. And I think it seems as though from the crowd, you can tell people really want to hear, they want to know what the details are. It's just one thing to say we're going to fix immigration, but I think this time around, people want to hear what are the real plans. Are these plans tangible? Can we actually achieve what it is that you're going to put in place? And I think that's what people are going to look into tonight and really hear what the F&M is going to propose as relates to fixing the immigration crisis that every Bahamian is right now concerned about.
Well, Shanique, what you're going to see this evening, what I expect to see out at R. Bailey Park, I think the word have gone around, and the F&M has a call on their base call on all of theirs to rally around and come and to show in numbers. I think it's very important that they begin to show strength, to show their numbers, and you're going to see that this evening at R. Bailey Park. F&M's beginning to get fired up. They're beginning to come around. Michael talked about the hot topic button of immigration. I think you're going to hear a lot of that. I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to hear. We expect that we would hear plans of how they're going to roll out everything that they said that they're going to, as relates to dealing with immigration. So they got a number of speakers. I'm sure those speakers are going to be very, very short, but I'm sure that the leader will have adequate time to deliver his message on that this evening. And so we look forward to seeing what they put forward as relates to their plans to deal and to tackle the immigration issue.
Cassius, good evening to you. Welcome to the show. Let's just talk about Ellington and Michael talked about one of the hot button issues that the Free National Movement has been zeroed in on, which is immigration. Your thoughts on if they're going to really sort of try and craft that message just right to get the Bahamian people to understand what it is that the F&M is trying to have us see about, whether it's fraudulent documents, whether it's citizenships, whatever it is about immigration, and other, obviously, policy ideas and policy statements they have made in recent weeks?
Well, I think they needed to, I did do an acid test to see whether or not their message is really pushing the needle forward. And I believe that, I know the last time I was on your show, we talked about all of the billboards heading into the airport and how none of them really make sense because it doesn't tell us how it makes our lives better. A few days later, they then adjust their policies and then put on the other side of the road billboards that say what are they going to do for the country. So it's just obviously they're listening, which is a good thing. But I think they need to now do a test to see whether or not their message is resonating and is pushing the needle forward. So the thing about it is most people in the Bahamas already made up their mind how they're going to vote. And so that's not just for what they're going to say tonight, but it's accumulation of all the things that has been said and done. And so we'll be able to see tonight what they're going to say, and then we'll give an assessment on what the message coming out. But I think accumulation over the last 2-3 years, people have made up their mind as to how they're going to vote already. And so, but I mean, there still is some swing voters there that they could be able to reach. But I mean, in terms of their messaging now, you have to show people how you're going to make their lives better. Stop talking about Brave Davis. Stop talking about, all the other things you're talking about. Tell me what you're going to do for the country.
There's also the housing plan, you all. And last night, of course, this show was a paid political broadcast at the Progressive Liberal Party's rally. And you heard them talk about that housing plan, something that's gotten a lot of attention, really, since it was announced. I imagine Michael Pintard will flesh that out further for the Bahamian people to have a better understanding of it.
Shanique, it's so interesting. You talk about housing, and I did, I saw a post earlier today, I think it was with Jamal Moss, talking about, an experience that he had when he was trying to get housing, government housing, I assume it was, And, I think he got a call from a political, figure in terms of, who had told him, and whilst he was with a PLP friend, a supporter around him, saying that, hey, this politics, man, this ain't for you, and I think this is what we need to move away from in terms of, whereas though, F&M PLP, once you're elected into government, any government, that being F&M PLP, COI, I don't care who it is, at the end of the day, every Bahamian should be afforded the opportunity, if they qualify, to get access to housing. Like I said, what's proposed by the F&M as it relates to 5,000 homes, I think it works out to be something like 100 every 3 days, something I couldn't remember the number.
100 every 3 days?
So it's some crazy number, but I know it's a lot. But at the end of the day, like I said, if that is achievable with the technology that's out there available in terms of how you can build houses today. I mean, some people are building houses. A home is ready in 30 days. Mm-hmm. That being start to finish, complete turnkey. You walk in, whether it be prefab forms that are put together. So there's a lot of technologies that can make this happen. If it's and maybe they do have a vendor that's available to do this amount of housing in the short period of time. So like I said, it's nothing. It's something that if they can achieve it, me as a Bahamian, I welcome it.
I think the Free National Movement talked about an aggressive approach to housing, and I think the breakdown of it come down to something like 3 houses per day. I heard them say. I didn't.
Yeah, I think it's
break it down, but it is extremely aggressive. I think the Free National Movement, to make that believable, needs to speak to that. They need to speak to how they're going to do this. You see, because politicians, especially when they're in opposition, Progressive Liberal Party, Free National Movement, normally they can have grandiose ideas, or any candidate that's running for office can talk about grandiose ideas. You could say, we're going to put you on the moon. How are you going to get me from point A to point B is the question. And so I would hope to hear this evening that the leaders speak to fleshing that out, like you mentioned, Shanique, as to how this is going to happen step by step. We know the Progressive Liberal Party's housing program, and we know the Free National Movement housing program in their last administration. There's been almost like night and day between the two. So can this new Pintard administration really make a difference in how they approach housing?
But I think, when we speak about housing, and we, at one point we used to call it affordable housing. It's not affordable anymore. No. And I think this is where any government should look at new technologies, new ways to bring down the cost. I mean, we know that the property value of housing has gone up, but we need to learn how to bring the construction value cost down in order to get back to what we so-called affordable homes. At the end of the day, you still have homes that you have 3 and 4 individuals are going to the bank to apply to qualify, and you have 3 families still living in what we so-called affordable homes, $280,000 homes. That's not affordable. Most Bahamians can't go to the bank and qualify for such. But
several things must be taken into consideration, Michael. Yeah, the average Bahamian cannot go and qualify for a $200,000 plus home. But also, we've got to be very mindful about the kinds of home we make to happen in this hurricane belt.
Yeah.
And so therefore, the building codes must not be compromised in any which way. And so whatever new technology we go toward and we bring in, which of course is industry practice right now, but we must also, again, be very mindful and watchful about whether those houses and structures can withstand Category 5 hurricanes, tornadoes, and any number of weather activity moving forward.
But to Mr. Pintard's credit, though, I love his approach about getting these people into these homes, because a lot of time we have homes, government built homes, and they sit there because the person, they can pay for the mortgage because their rent is pretty much what the mortgage is, but to come up with a big, huge chunk of a lump sum, that is normally the challenge of home ownership. And so Mr. Pintard, speak to the fact of removing that and placing that over the life of the mortgage.
The period of the life of the mortgage.
That is an excellent idea that government on the whole should look to adopt, to get more Bahamians into home ownership.
Yeah, very good idea. Meanwhile, we're going to go to Central Andros this evening. Our news team is there. Rebecca Bain. The Progressive Liberal Party is rallying in Central Andros this evening. Good evening to Rebecca. Please bring us in. Give us an idea of how that rally is unfolding.
Today, all the way from Central Andros, because Andros is not on the sideline of this country's future. Now, if you were to take any time, you can see supporters dressed in gold and blue. I want to speak about the work we have been doing. The encouragement for the determined to continue and he is buying for the again. And many residents say they are looking for their term. Right now, we also do have on stage the candidate for like upscale, Bahamas. We do have the candidate Mario Golag, who is going to be competing against Andros in the next round for the Garden Hill constituency. Tonight, the Progressive Liberal Party is like centering their rally for progress. This is their first rally on the island of Andros since the general election has been called for May 12th. Tonight are some of the objectives for their campaign, and that's bettering health care, that's bettering education, bettering the Bahamas. Those are some of the things we are also going to set rubber lines for the Killarney constituency, placing the Prime Minister of Davis, Deputy Premier Chester Cooper. These are some of the individuals, and I will keep on saying we are our district. And Rebecca Bain, send it back to you with Destiny.
Rebecca, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rebecca Bain, live in Central Andros this evening. We do apologize because the speaker was competing with what she was saying, so we weren't necessarily able to hear properly what she was saying, but she did mention some of the PLP's election promises that they have put out there on record, and even some of the achievements they have done this term that they want to further build on as they have been putting forward. Thank you very much for many of your comments. There's a comment that says, we have moved from low-cost housing to affordable homes. The cost of housing has increased in line with the cost of living. Thank you all very, very, very much. We are going to take a first break. I have a question for the panel when we come back after this break, but we're going to take a first break this evening. This is Beyond the Headlines. We're just getting started. Back in a moment.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokesmodel, and I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Luckily it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was...
When bold flavor meets crispy perfection, something deliciously unexpected happens. Say hello to Wendy's new Italian chicken sandwich. Juicy chicken topped with Italian seasoned tomatoes, melty mozzarella, and a zesty mayo spread that'll have you saying, Bellissimo! It's the chicken you crave with a zesty twist you didn't see coming. Always imitated, never duplicated. Gotta be Wendy's.
Very dry, tight, sensitive skin? Relieve it in 60 seconds with Aveeno Skin Relief. With soothing triple oat complex, clinically proven to heal and strengthen dry skin. Aveeno, your skin stronger.
Don't let diarrhea steal your sunshine. Imodium Multi-Symptom Relief gets to work fast in just 1 hour, offering our most complete relief from diarrhea, bloating, gas, and cramps. So you can get diarrhea off your mind. Imodium. Calm the chaos of diarrhea.
Foreign commercial banks have been closing across our islands. For thousands of Bahamians, our country's post office savings banks are a lifeline, providing safe and secure banking. But Michael Pindart says,
we will abolish the bank through the post office system.
That's a risk Bahamians can't afford. That's why the Prime Minister is making post office savings banks stronger to protect Bahamian families and small businesses who rely on them.
5 cars, catch the keys, don't blink, take these.
Island Luck is giving away 5 brand new cars. Earn 10 reward points for a chance to enter and win. Enter weekly from Monday 12 a.m. to Sunday 2 p.m. Winners are announced Sundays at 3 p.m. on 103.5 The Beat and Island Luck Socials. 5 cars, 5 weeks. The more you play, the better your chances. Visit islandluck.com for more information. Catch the keys only at Island Luck. Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
The race to 2026 is heating up, and the nation's voice is louder than ever. Here on Beyond the Headlines, we're checking the mood, the momentum, and the message of the people. I'm Shanique Miller. Each week, we're taking the temperature of the electorate to see what's really driving the nation. Who's connecting? Who's cooling off? What issues are heating up ahead of 2026? This is Temperature Check 2026, where journalism meets the nation's heartbeat.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you all tuned in. Before we get to what took place at the Parliamentary Registration Department today, I want to ask, as we continue, obviously, on a political tone, I want to ask my panelists, who is the most interesting, in your view, candidate this election season? Who stands out? Who's getting it right?
You know, for me, I have to say, I happen to watch, Rick Fox videos, and he's very much on social media, but I think Rick is new to Bahamian politics, and I think they call it baptism by fire. Everything in terms of the advanced polls with the tents today, and there's so much things that's going on with Rick, and I mean he's out there. And I think he's enjoying it as much as what Bahamians are enjoying watching him. So that's I'd say Rick Fox for me.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Shanique, I love a lot of new innovation. I'm a guy, I love new innovation. I love to see new things. I love to see people doing things in a different way. And for me, that would be Sebastian with a number of different innovative ways he's doing different things in the constituency. He's bring a new dynamic, a new shift in the way we do politics here in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. I think we've lost Cassius, so we will continue.
Rapping the red poles.
Oh, you.
Yeah, you go into the Cassius. Why you look at you go into the rally?
I think he is on his way to the rally.
I'm on my way.
I know you're on your way to the rally. I really thought so. Cassius,
do I turn left or right?
Cassius, who stands out in your mind in terms of an interesting candidate?
I think when I look at, to be honest with you, I think Clay Sweeting is a very interesting candidate. I think he's the best among all of them. And I think when I look at his political life, I think the one who lost the most is Naughty Lucha, Spanish Wells, because Clay has done so much for Saudi Lucha, and he's really from the north. And the north is now being deprived because he's not from the north, and so the south is getting all of the benefits. And so I think he's been a very, very good candidate. And I think overall, though, among all of the best, I think Clay stands out the best because his resume speaks for itself. He doesn't come with a bunch of fluff. Mm-hmm. He doesn't talk much. You don't hear all of the this and the that. But the evidence is clear that, hey, there's a track record and there's a lot of progress.
Yes, and so listen, I think I'll ask you guys that every night. That sounds good to hear the different responses. Meanwhile, take a look at this, right? If you all can just bring it up with me just very quickly. This is the new voter's card, and this belongs to, guys, on camera one. single. Yeah, right there. This belongs to Michael. If you can't see it, yeah. This is the biometric. That's right, and it is. There's sort of a translucent area here in the shape of a conch shell. Pretty neat. Then there's a flamingo coming out of there.
Yeah, it's nice. And you see all of your name is around. If you look in there, that's your name, your birth date, your birth
so
date.
It's intricately done.
You see your picture in there.
You are kidding. So
yeah,
this is
a lot of security. It's a lot of security features.
This is a lot of security features in here. You all really super. So I tell you this. You know,
we need to redo the driver's license now.
Like they say, Harrison Thompson took a licking this whole season. But you all look at this. I'm happy you pointed that because you obviously had time to study it, Michael. This is really great. Plus, it has a barcode in the back here.
Yeah,
so I don't know. Listen, scammers will try and scam. However, it'll take you a minute to get and duplicate these security features and all the rest of it that Michael just pointed out and the barcode. But you all, I'll tell you this. Let's just talk about what happened today. Michael, what time you got yours today?
Around but 2 o'clock. It was nobody in there. I was the only one. I walked right up. I went collected mine from the Nassau Village Community Center. It was a very easy process. Submit your driver's license and just collect it.
Very awesome, Michael. This is very. It's quite. I'm kind of jealous now. Like Jesus, I should have applied. I think I don't even know.
I'm going to mine.
That
did
big,
as well.
That big. I'm tired of that big purple.
Listen, I'm serious, man. Like my God, Cassius, did you apply for this? This is stunning that Michael got his own. That Michael is showing tonight.
No, I still ran on the paper.
Yeah, that can't fit in your pocket, man.
Listen, I know, right?
Listen,
no. That is good.
I will get my upgrade.
Yes, no, it's needed. It's needed. It's really nice. But I'll tell you this, gentlemen. So listen up to this. The Parliamentary Registration Department acknowledging errors in the publication of the Voters Register published today. In a statement issued moments before our newscast, which started well over an hour ago, officials said that the errors were due to typographical errors and a system glitch. They were quick to clarify that, you're there now. That's where you are. That the outcome of the election, as the voters' cards in counterfoil contained the accurate information that will be relied upon on voting day. Now, despite assurances made, members of the opposition are pushing back.
On the 23rd of April, I came here with all of the applications for individuals throughout the Fort Charlotte constituency to be a part of the advance poll process. I had applications for all of my poll workers, all of the senior citizens, and individuals who are traveling before May 12 general election. I submitted the applications and returned 2 days later, only to find that none of the L forms were ready, and even today are still not ready for none of my poll workers. I spoke with a senior individual at first, a part of the Parliamentary Registry Department, who basically told me that is life. Move on. It happens. I was not pleased with that answer. I came down to the front office where I met. I requested to speak with the parliamentary commissioner. I was able to get him by phone. And I explained to him the situation that my 9 individuals were left off of the advance poll register.
So, of course, we made attempts to reach the parliamentary commissioner, and our attempts were unsuccessful. But Robinson is calling for the issue to be rectified before advance polling day, which, of course, as you all know, is on Thursday. And so we will, of course, follow that tomorrow to see if he got that resolved, and also to see if we can speak with the Parliamentary Registrar Commission. Gentlemen, first of all, it's awesome. You see the work has been going on, that they've been working. We know there will be glitches, but I'll tell you this, when someone reaches out, particularly a candidate, to have their team registered and ready for Thursday, whomever is in the office, Harrison Thompson, should not respond as, that's life, deal with it. No, that's the issue with the public service. So just a few of you all give the entire public service such a bad reputation and just a stench, really. Gentlemen, your thoughts on what Robinson had to say?
This is all good and dandy, right? But what's embarrassing? When you look at, we've been on the parliamentary department, asked for the past couple months about, a conglomerate of things that they would have done, whether it be local elections, the different things of that sort. With all of the technology that we have available to us today, that being AI in terms of to go through data, to tell you the flaws and the do's and the don'ts. This is the issue that I have when we talk about public service, putting the right people in the positions where to make sure we are very efficient in our jobs. The parliamentary department is very, 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 very inefficient. We can't expect the same results with the same old thing every time, expecting something different, and we go through this every 5 years. There should be anything to do with AI right now should be taking over all of our ministries, in helping our people become more efficient, sorting through data. Some of the things that AI is doing in the world today. Google Workspace and a lot of other things. This registry could have been cleaned up in seconds.
In seconds.
And we still here we're talking about these big, long registers, these forms you got to go and fill out, when all of these things could be done online, submitted, and basically go right into a database rather than you keying stuff, everything in manually all the time. We got to stop doing the same old thing and expecting the different results. We can't continue to do that. And you can't put, I'm afraid to say it, people that don't know, that are not keeping up with technology and not moving forward, and expect them to listen to young people who are sitting there like almost, hey, I'm frustrated because I can do this better. And, somebody says, no, we can just do it our same old way. We've been doing this for the past 30, 40 years, and this works.
And I'm a proponent, I've always been, of if a person doesn't have to move out of the way for somebody new and younger. Yes. But if you are not relevant and are not learning the new systems and being more efficient, man, get the hell out the way.
Yeah. You can have this all you want. You can have all these cards in the world, but if the data is still bad, and you have things that you are printing these and the wrong information is being on it, and you don't tell someone getting it, oh, this is wrong, my date of birth wrong on here, this, that, and the next. Like, what's the sense?
Yeah, we must get it together. And one thing is critical, especially as we deal with the public service. You cannot be, whenever somebody come and report a problem to you or express an issue to you, you cannot be nonchalant and just expect them to just accept, hey, that's it, that's what it is. No, try to work it out, try to get it sorted out, make sure the person that you're dealing with feel comfortable that you are seriously working towards getting it done. People like and courteous with it.
We have talked about the service, that the quality of service that's offered and given and experienced in the public service. A lot of it is much to be desired. And so let's just come on, especially at a time like this, it's tense. We don't need you all being extra.
It's so funny.
Yes.
Today, dealing with a quasi-government entity, to see the rudeness of what I had to deal with today. I said, what? I dealing with BPL. I said, the way that the tone in which they approach you, when it's simple things that can be addressed in such a calm manner. Mm-hmm. I said, something, we really got to change, And the person I was dealing with, they call themselves in customer service. Like almost like you want to attack me on the phone just because I sent a wrong form. It's okay, I could easily, but we got to change the way our attitudes.
Well, I think, Michael, I think you're right. I think lousiness has been the standard of the public service, and I think the performance, they only get one job every 5 years, and they can't get it right for the last 1,000 years. And so
since before independence.
We need to put in more dynamic people who can understand technology and understand what needs to do, and get rid of these people who've been there for 1,000 years because they're not making any sense. They're not doing what they need to do, and we need to weed them out. And the opposition have a right to complain, and I stand with them for the first time in a long time on this matter. Get it done right. They can't get it right.
Yeah, we must get it right. We got to get it right.
Come on.
And I stand with them on this matter because it's frustrating knowing that you got work to do, you got an election to win, and you don't have nothing to work with.
Yeah, but local elections was the testing ground, and they messed that up. They had more than enough ample time to say, let's try and get it right for the general elections.
Every candidate should have had those tools.
But you can't tell the man, that's
that's it. You cannot dismiss him. He is a candidate. He has every right to want his poll workers to be in the advance poll. How can that be your response? Harrison Thompson, I hope you have a tracking mechanism in the Parliamentary Registrar Department that you are able to determine exactly who that was, because we got to start cleaning up the system. Get it right. And there is no excuse. There is no, and you know what I'll tell you, human error, as you described, Michael, they manually go and try to do all of this stuff. It should be computerized now. We know that. Is AI there to assist and make things happen like that and near perfect, really, with some corrections if necessary. So the thing is, instead of having people to write in those books as thick as this studio here, let's just sort of move forward from that. But also, what will help a great deal is your attitude.
Yep, fix it.
Simple.
Get rid of them.
Beyond the Headlines is back right after this.
The world is changing. It's bringing new challenges, but also new opportunities. The truth is, our economy always left too many Bahamians out. Now we're opening new doors in agriculture, tourism, energy, entrepreneurship, providing grants, scholarships, national service, and upskilling. A new generation is rising, and we're finally moving in the right direction, building an economy that includes everyone.
Hey, it's time to lock in your vote.
Your vote is your power.
With the new boundaries in place, you may need to transfer or confirm your voter registration.
And if you have never registered or didn't plan to vote,
don't get left out on one of the most important decisions of your future.
Make sure when election day comes, you're ready to say,
your say, your vote, your choice.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At Investar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Tonight, Laurentia Smith takes a closer look at the status of the Partana, Bahamas housing development after Prime Minister Davis called out Free National Movement's candidate Rick Fox, who led the project. Here's that story.
Prime Minister Philip Davis on Monday night turned up the heat on the Free National Movement, questioning whether Garden Hill's candidate Rick Fox can deliver on long-term promises regarding housing in the Bahamas.
After them a few years ago to build some environmentally friendly, affordable homes. He got some crown land, but hasn't built a single home yet. So if the whole F&M plan depends on someone, first of all, who's a first-time voter and a first-time contractor, are they serious?
Fast forward to 2022, when the Davis administration inked a memorandum of understanding with Britannia Bahamas, a subsidiary building development company focused on innovation and housing solution. At the time, the company was headed by Fox, who was also serving as the ambassador for sports to the Bahamas. According to Eyewitness News business section, that agreement was expected to pave way for modern, climate-resilient housing across the country, a key component in addressing the nation's housing challenges. Fast forward to 2026, Eyewitness News sought to find out the status of that project. Well, according to sources, there's been no forward movement on the development. The source further shared that there has been no payment to the public purse, which, to be clear, was a part of the agreement. The source was frank in alleging that the development itself had gone belly up. Government communication lead Latrey Ramming giving us the specs on the Crown land.
The certain partnership granted him 10 acres of land on Arawaki for 25 years. Petition when the government give Crown land any development, that the public see the public see the end result of that. And 10 acres is significant for development.
Eyewitness News reached out to Fox on Tuesday, seeking clarity on the status of the project. However, upward to News Time, there was no answer. Now, back in February, Fox was ratified as a candidate for the F&M, and at the time he addressed the status of the initiative. Here's what he had to say.
To build any houses when the government of the Bahamas is prepared to execute on what their responsibilities are. Just to be clear, in that contract, there's not a dollar of the Bahamian people's money that is given to me, has been given to me or my company to execute any of these homes. Those homes were to be built with our company money.
Now, this is a story that Eyewitness News will continue to follow. Laurentia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, gentlemen, we have heard about that before. We have heard about this housing development project, and it didn't actually come off as yet. Prime Minister Davis says, well, Latrey Ramming said Fox was given, I think it's 10 acres. Yeah. Fox is saying that certain agreements were not met. What do we think of all this?
Again, Shanique, I have a very low appreciation for this banter back and forth between the government and Fox as it relates to these. The government stating that they gave the 10 acres of Crown land. My question is, does Mr. Fox still hold this Crown land? What exactly has transpired? Rick Fox, without giving any details, is saying that the government ain't do what they need to do. I think if you're going to talk about this in the Bahamian public, rather than being vague with us, tell us what the deal is. Lay the cards on the table. Rick Fox, say what they were supposed to do and didn't do. The government, say what you done and where Rick Fox really supposed. Lay the cards out. Don't give us these little snippets of something to say he's supposed to do this. Rick Fox saying they're supposed to do something and they ain't doing what they do. You're playing with the Bahamian people. I know you're all in campaign mode, but we're playing with the Bahamian people. Let us know what the deal is. What happened to the 10 acres? What was promised? What was not done?
You know, I think it's like the cat. They said the cat and the mouse. You know, any when it comes to development and heads of agreements, we've seen this round and round with governments, where the governments, issue land, and then all of a sudden they go back and forth on whatever the specifics of the deals are, and someone didn't fulfill certain agreements. Same way, and we all know when doing developments in the Bahamas. Me coming from a family that has done a lot of developments, it's not easy when you have to go through, Ministry of Works planning and approvals and all these different things, environmental health, depending on what the magnitude of, it's not easy, I can tell you, I don't know who, sometimes you got to do certain things and you got to come back, and environment impact studies have to be done, which it prolongs a project could be 5, 6 years, 7. I've known some projects have taken 10, 15 years to get off the ground.
Very burdensome.
Yeah, it's a very burdensome process. So I mean, like I say, not until we know the details, you know, we just hear going back and forth.
Shut up if you all ain't talk sense.
It's a bunch of foolishness.
Yeah. Meanwhile, gentlemen, Cassius, I think you are freezing, so we're going to move forward. The Progressive Liberal Party chairman, Fred Mitchell, is maintaining that the party has not changed its tone on the issue of fraudulent passports or the issuance of Bahamian passports. The issue has become a hot-button issue this election season. Political parties continue to raise concern on the issue. Mitchell says those critics are desperate.
There is this view that you can simply throw mud and you think you're affecting politicians, but in fact people who put their life's work into working in their careers are being besmudged by things which are being thrown about loosely, and it really ought to stop. Secondly, we can't understand why the leader of the opposition and his colleagues keep beating the drum about the security of our documents. Our documents are secure. And why would a leader of the opposition has to use the passport to go and travel around the world? Why does he want to undermine the security of his and the reputation of his documents? Simply because he figures that can get him to win elections.
That is PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell speaking on the issue, the ongoing issue of fraudulent passports and fraud as it relates to attaining Bahamian citizenship. Mitchell says that this continued sort of narrative really abuses the country's reputation.
The government has not changed its tune. That's incorrect. That's false. What is happening is a propaganda war is being waged by a set of desperate opponents who are trying to smudge the Progressive Liberal Party by making up nonsense about documents and all sorts of false information on this issue. The facts, if you just go and look at the facts, the fact is the professionals in the ministry and in the office are doing their work, and they are protecting Bahamian documents, not the opposite of what people are saying.
We have discussed the matter of fraudulent passports and the fact that it's come up very strongly this political season. And then, of course, you hear Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell speak about one, I guess, those who are in charge of performing the duties of keeping the sacred document of the Bahamas as safe as possible in terms of free from fraud, and what they do, and the ongoing narrative doesn't help any. Your thoughts on just how this has played a key role this election season, and the fact that it continues to?
You know, Shanique, I think...
Can I interject?
Yes, go ahead.
Can I interject? I think what we want to clear, politics is never about reality. It's about the perception of reality. And what not just to
Cassius, you are freezing and sort of sticking.
Yeah. So I think Shanique, you know, the issue is the minister said, you know, they have not changed their tune. The issue there, the Bahamians think that they're not using the right tune, which is what it's kind of, I guess, it's causing people to become, I guess, angry, because at the end of the day, people are now taking this seriously. Every day when you open the paper, you see voters' cards, you see passport fraud, you see just NIB fraud. People want you to...
But isn't that a good thing, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that these cases, that? But it's the problem that I think the Bahamians have is what is slipping through the cracks. And they want the government to really take a real hard stance on this as relates, just not have a soft tone about it. We need to set examples. We need swift justice. But don't you think examples
have been set? You see, Michael, and
I haven't seen the first person gone to jail yet.
I don't know where you've been looking, because I want to just talk about the fact that I've had Nicholas Simonet on this show several times, and he's spoken about what it is that he has done at the passport office, and that people have been turned over, the cases, whatever the cases are, when the fraud has been found out, or when people who are compromised have been found, directly to the police. Many of them have been charged. We saw somebody at the Parliamentary Registrar Department just a couple of weeks ago, 2 people in fact, one from NIB, one from Parliamentary Registrar Department, charged because they were involved in fraud.
You know, Shanique, a charge is one thing, but swift justice in terms of, charges, okay, you get out on bail or you're walking around for a year, 2 years, case comes back up, we go back and forth for 2-3 years, and all of a sudden, sometimes you don't hear about certain cases no more. That's my point is, yes, people are being charged. I can go and I can be charged and I'm out for 3 years just knocking about on the streets looking for something else to get into. My point is, just how we had the other day with the example with when the U.S. Embassy got involved in swift justice, was people are looking for swift justice. These cases needs to be, I'm talking about fast track through the courts and dealt with immediately.
Absolutely. And
that's what I'm talking about. People want to hear, they want results. They don't want to keep hearing that, we continue to find fraudulent passports or fraudulent NIB. And sometimes, it's not the government, it's our own people that are basically going in and doing the foolishness, basically putting our sovereignty at risk. And that is where the Bahamian people are becoming angry. The government needs to say, hey, we tired of y'all foolishness. We ain't allow y'all to come inside these government agencies and continue to do this mess over and over and over again. Something has to change.
Ellington, thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution. I of course, thank you all for tuning in this evening. Thank you very much, Cassius Stewart, for you intermittently joining us. And of course, Michael, thank you.
Going to the rally.
I think he's on his way.
I think Cassie's at the rally.
I think it's all the people. When there's so many people together.
There's so much phones in one area. I think Cassie's at the rally.
Michael, you are
I think that's
on.
exactly where he's at.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. And of course, a huge thank you to all of you this evening for tuning in. It's certainly been awesome having you hang out this evening. I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening when we have temperature check and, of course, just analysis on all the top stories of the day. Until then, for the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.